Welcome to the Maria Liberati Show, where food meets art, travel, and life. So what does food mean to you? Well, today my special guest is Silja Paulus, who is we're visiting Estonia today, visiting with her. And she is a former long distance runner, but she's now a health and fitness coach. And everybody knows summer is coming, and what that means is everybody wants to start eating healthier and, getting outside. And anyway, so Celia is going to help us with some tips on eating healthier and some fitness tips now that summer is almost here. And I wanted to share some of my tips before we start the interview for eating healthy during summer, some fresh and flavorful choices. Summer isn't here, but it's almost here. So get ready. So one of my first tips is to take advantage of fresh produce. Watermelon. Okay, so staying hydrated is crucial during the hot summer months. And watermelon has 92% water content. Not only does it keep you cool, but most people don't realize this. Watermelon the lycopene in watermelon actually helps to protect your skin from the sun. So watermelon is definitely a good choice, fresh watermelon. And corn, which is loaded with antioxidants like lutein and zeaxanthin. I think I pronounced that correctly. Corn acts as natural sunglasses. It protects your eyes from the sun's rays, actually. Those two things I mentioned, lutein and zeaxanthin, does protect your eyes, helps protect your eyes from the sun's rays. Tomatoes. Lycopene is in tomatoes, and it may actually shield your skin from sunburn. So include tomatoes in salads, sandwiches, salsas. They're so delicious. And grill vegetables. That's another one of my tips. Grill vegetables. Barbecuing is perfect for outdoor cooking, especially when the weather is warmer. It doesn't have to quite be summer, but you can, everybody likes to barbecue all kinds of meats and things, but you can also grill vegetables like peppers, zucchini, and eggplant. They're healthier and actually taste a lot better. Adds a lot of flavor to them when you cook them this way, when you grill them. And certainly drizzle some olive oil on top, add some fresh herbs, some rosemary, oregano on top, and they are really delicious that way. And they make a great healthy snack, so low in calories, really good healthy snack, or a side dish with whatever you may have for your main meal. And the third tip is to give in to temptation, but in moderation. So, summer social gatherings often feature lots of tempting treats. Enjoy them, but just practice portion control. Pleasurable foods can help you stay on track. You don't want to feel like you're deprived. And my fourth tip is to eat healthy when dining out. Familiarize yourself with portion sizes at home. When you're eating out, choose wisely. Opt for things like lean proteins, whole grains, and veggies. And my fifth tip is to try new foods. Explore seasonal fruits and vegetables. Berries, cherries, and fresh herbs they add a variety to your meals. You can even sprinkle some berries on your salads. They make a really, really good choice. And my sixth tip is, if you're going to choose alcoholic beverages, choose healthy alcoholic drinks. If you indulge in alcoholic beverages, opt for the lighter options. Consider wine spritzers or maybe vodka with soda water and lime. And of course, in moderation. And treat your diet like an endless summer. Maintain consistency throughout the season. You can prioritize whole foods, stay hydrated, and just enjoy the bounty of summer produce. And try to keep that same momentum going for the rest of the year. Hope you enjoyed those tips, and don't forget, try to add a light workout, even if it's just walking. And of course, before you start any diet plan or workout plan or anything, consult with your physician to do that and make sure you can. So stay tuned for my interview with Celia. And I just do want to mention one thing before we do the interview. The podcast has been becoming extremely popular. We're getting so many downloads. So we are now going to be distributed on terrestrial radio. The first radio station that will be hosting us is WWDB. That's 96.5 AM radio in Philadelphia, my native Philadelphia. So I'm really happy to know that my first terrestrial radio station is in Philly, but I certainly want to add some more terrestrial radio stations around the world. So I will let you know we will be adding some more radio stations. So stay tuned. That will be on May 4th, 2024. We'll be adding WWDB. We'll have the Maria Liberati show. And you can also look up WWDB online. If you're not in the Philadelphia area, you can look it up online, and you'll actually be able to download the show on the WWDB website and on my webpage on the WWDB website. Stay tuned for the interview with Silja Paulus and our trip to Estonia. Hi, and welcome to the Maria Liberati Show, where food meets art, travel, and life. And today, my special guest is Silja Paulus. Did I get that right, Celia?
Yes, you got it right. Thank you, Maria.
And she is a health and fitness expert, and she's joining us from Estonia. So we're actually traveling to Estonia today. And she's also a digital nomad. She's got a lot of experience living the digital nomad lifestyle, and she's going to share with us, among other things, how to eat healthy and stay fit and healthy while traveling, which I know for me has always been very difficult. And also while living a digital nomad lifestyle, because you're living in different countries. So you probably, I know you have to get used to how to eat in whatever countries you're in. So, but anyway, so how did you get started in being involved in health and fitness?
So I've been an athlete for more than a decade. At first, I was a marathon runner, so I was doing long distance. And actually, my very best marathon record is from Italy, Milan. I know you are very connected to that country as well.
Yes.
So I have run in Rome, I have run in Ravenna, Milan, and my personal best is from Milan. So we already connected.
There you go. Yes. Oh, that's wonderful. So do you coach people on health and fitness, like eating healthier, staying fit?
Yes, I do. So I have been an athlete for a long time. I have also trained as a nutritionist, and I've also trained as a health coach, like more like this holistic wellness, and also a lot of focus on the mindset, and also as a 10x fitness coach, which is like very specific training method. And I have always been very excited about food. And for me, like I always say, being an athlete is a very big part of my identity. And now I'm also like trying to teach people how to use the tools of an athlete's mindset or whatever athletes are using, and how to use them as a, a non-athlete. So that's why I'm also teaching people the tips and tricks and also like meal prep. And I think that for nomads, this is especially crucial to have like some kind of optimal routine, because if you don't take care of your health, I think your health is will be also like suffering at some point. You don't have
Yes.
that much energy, and you can't really enjoy everything that the world has to offer, especially if you like traveling and you want to see everything, you want to experience everything. But if you lack the energy, or maybe if you have like stomach issues because you were not eating right, you can't enjoy. So that's
Yeah.
why I'm talking about the digital nomad health as well.
Yes,
And
definitely. That is really, really important. Um, so any tips for people like to staying healthy and fit while you're traveling or eating healthier? Because I know also like if I'm traveling and if I'm working and I don't have a whole lot of time, even though I'm involved in food, it's still sometimes hard and I have to be conscious of what I'm eating, how I'm eating, and all of that. Because you're absolutely right. If you don't have the energy to travel around and you have stomach issues. So, do you have any tips you can tell us for that, for eating healthy or being fit while
yeah.
on the road?
And I think that many people, they don't even know what it feels to feel good because they have
Yes,
never felt that way. You don't even know what is possible for your body
exactly.
unless you start exploring. I think that very important thing to know when you're traveling is like as some kind of supplement, you could have like some probiotics or focus on eating a little bit of probiotic stuff like unflavored yogurt that has been fermented, or all these fermented vegetables like sauerkraut, pickles. And I think in some countries they also like pickle and ferment all kinds of vegetables. So these
Yes.
are also like supporting your gut health, especially
Uh-huh.
if you go to like a new place. The water is different, the food is different, the bacteria is different that you're like eating, because with the food you're always getting a different bacteria in your body, and your body might not be able to digest all this. So
Right.
you might support yourself either with some probiotics or by eating some fermented food. And I
Uh-huh.
think it's also about keeping it simple. So especially like maybe on the first days when you arrive to a new place, your body also needs some time to adjust. So you can have like some, I call these master meals.
Uh-huh.
So this is something that is very easy to make. It's
Yes.
simple, it's tasty, you always love it, and you can basically make it like wherever you are. I
Uh-huh.
think for me, this is like chicken and vegetables as a
Uh-huh.
stir fry on a wok pan. I can
Uh-huh.
always get my hands on some kind of vegetables. I will always find some chicken breast, and I can always add some olive oil and salt and just quickly fry it on a pan and make it as a stir fry.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like having like some go-to recipes that you can make anywhere. Okay,
Yes.
maybe the vegetables are different in different countries, but you can still find something. Like
Mm-hmm.
having like some basic recipes before you leave home. So I think it's also about preparing yourself and getting
Yes.
ready, because you know you're going to a new place and there's going to be new food, and possibly people will want to try new stuff, but you can still first just adjust and then start trying the new stuff, especially if you have like stomach issues or if you are like more sensitive.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, definitely. No, that's a great idea. Something simple. Yes, chicken and vegetables. And even though the vegetables may be different, there's probably something, even just one thing that may be something that you are used to, that you can find in whatever other country that you're in. So that's a definitely a great idea. Just keep it simple and then kind of work into maybe trying some of the food in that other culture. So
Yeah.
it's a great idea.
And I do think that people should also try the local food, because you want to experience the life, you want to experience the food, but maybe yeah, you don't have to like eat the new strange food the whole day. Maybe you can just make some of the meals like this. And for example, very often when I travel, I keep the breakfast the same. So I'm usually eating like scrambled eggs with some salad and maybe some bacon or that kind of stuff in the morning. So I usually keep this the same because I know that this will fill me up for a very long time
Yeah.
and I can go on for hours
Mhm.
before I need something else. And this will also give me like stable energy levels, and it will also give me like this productive vibe for the morning,
Uh-huh.
so I can get the important stuff done, like any tasks that need to be completed. And after this, once the day has already been like in progress for a little bit, I can go and be a little bit more experimental.
Yes, and try something. And you're absolutely right. I know when I have eggs for breakfast, I am not really hungry for lunch. I just keep going for the whole day. It gives you so much energy to do that. Eggs and maybe some vegetables or a salad, something like that is really good. And you can probably get that in almost any country that you're in some way. So that's definitely a great idea. Yeah, you don't want to, I know a lot of times people go to countries and they have these wonderful pastries and cakes, and they just want to start their day with that. And it's really a bad thing to do because you're not going to have
Yeah.
much energy, right? It takes all your energy.
Yes, you
So,
can eat this, but maybe do it in the evening because this will
yes,
also make you sleepy and you want to
exactly.
be sleepy in the evening. I know that
Exactly.
if it happens that I start my day with a pastry, I know that my whole day is basically ruined because I will keep having the cravings throughout the day because
Exactly.
by having this pastry, the blood sugar just goes high, and after this you will also be having this
Really
blood sugar
low.
drop, and then you need a
Yes.
new high, and then you will be on this roller coaster for the entire day.
Exactly.
So you
Ex-
can have the pastry, but maybe have like a little bit of salad before, so you will have some fiber in your stomach, and if
uh-huh.
possible, maybe have it with some kind of fat and protein as well, like maybe even chicken breast or some avocado or some nuts. So this will
Uh-huh.
like dampen the effect of the pastry.
That's exactly, having some protein is really, really important. So, what about the digital nomad lifestyle? Any tips on? You did give us some tips already, but when you're having to live in other countries, like any tips on how to find, healthier food so you're eating healthy wherever you're at?
Like I said, be prepare before. So I even talked to like another digital nomad from Brazil who
Uh-huh.
told me that before she even started this lifestyle, like many months before, she started practicing in her own like hometown. So she tried out what it feels like to work in cafes, if she even
Uh-huh.
likes this. She tried staying at a hostel. She
Uh-huh.
tried like preparing the food as well
Uh-huh.
beforehand. So you can
Right.
try out this lifestyle. And I think it's also good to have like these lunch boxes maybe. So if you even go to like a different country, you can still like maybe you will have a place that has like a kitchen. I always
Uh-huh.
recommend to have this because
Yes.
this way at least some of the meals if they are controlled, maybe like breakfast and lunch, and for dinner you go out and explore. But if you're like usually as a nomad, people are also like working remotely, so you can treat this as like a normal day in your life
Exactly.
because you will still be working, you will be doing stuff. So why not just make your meals like you did at home?
Exactly. And I think that's a really important point. If you can stay somewhere where there's some kind of a kitchen so you can cook your own meals, because it's not always a good thing to go out, especially if you're not familiar with where you're at. Cook your own meals at home, and then like you said, maybe at night you can go out for something, or just go out for try something, a local treat or something, until you get really used to the food. But if you have your own kitchen, you can cook healthy and fresh. You can cook with a fresh, gives you a chance to try out a lot of local things too. So
Yes.
I think it
It's all
makes it.
about balance. Cook a little
Yes,
bit on your own and also go and explore. So
exactly.
when you are traveling, what would you usually cook? What's the go-to meal for you, for
When
example?
I travel, um, I, well, when I travel, it just depends on where I'm at and where I'm traveling to. But one of my favorite things, if I'm traveling by car, for a distance, I always take my own lunch. I always take my own lunch or meals. And usually I take things like hard boiled eggs with me for snacks. I'll take some yogurt. I'll usually take a sandwich. Of course, if I'm traveling by car in Italy, I like to stop on the road and get fresh bread. You can always find fresh bread, fresh cheeses, some fresh tomatoes, and I just like to make a quick sandwich like that. That's kind of my favorite thing to do if I'm traveling by car in Italy. One of my favorite things to do, because you can always find those ingredients when you're on the road. Or you can find a little pizza, a place making fresh pizza, and you
Mm.
can get some fresh vegetables and just top the pizza with the vegetables, or even local cheeses. So those are kind of my go-to things I like to get if I'm traveling. If I'm traveling by plane, depending on what they allow me to bring, but I do like to bring things like sandwiches on whole grain bread, and like I said, some eggs, yogurt. And I try to bring fruit, but you can't always bring fruit on the plane.
Mm.
I always have fruit with me, and even if I'm traveling by car. And but
Yeah.
sometimes wherever you're traveling, again, if I'm traveling by car, I like to stop at the local fruit stands, and you can get whatever's local to wherever you're traveling to. So it always makes it fun too,
Yeah, it
discovering
sounds
local.
so tasty what you just described. And I think it's also about knowing your food and doing maybe a little bit of research. Okay, what kind of food is typical for
Exactly.
that country where I am? So in
Exactly.
addition to seeing all the sites and all the cities and mountains and whatever, you can also like do a little bit of research about the food. So you
Right.
will know like what the specialties are, and you can already pick out some healthier options beforehand.
Exactly. You're absolutely right. It makes sense to do a little bit of research so you know what kind of food you might be expecting there. And you might even be able to find some of that food already in your own country to try it, something similar to it. So you know what to expect when you get
Yeah,
there.
that's a
That's
good
great.
tip. Just go to an Italian restaurant in your country if you're going to Italy. Why
Yes,
not?
although it might not be exactly the same, but it could be similar. You will get an
Yeah.
idea of whatever food you're going to experience. Well, that sounds great. Celia, can people find you online if
Yes, they
anybody
can
wants?
find me by my name or by looking for Athletic Mind Coach on YouTube and also on Instagram. That's the main place where I'm sharing like tips and tricks of digital nomad traveling. I also have host my own podcast there, and I talk to nomads and coaches and athletes and that kind of people. And travel is a big focus, and I think there's also like a lot of focus on the food part because whereas we might be training like a few times a day, we eat every day and we eat like
That's
multiple times a day. So I think this is very important thing to know more about. And I think it's also about the mindset and just,
yes,
being curious and being open-minded about,
exactly.
especially when it comes to your own health.
Yes, definitely. Really important to have an open mind, especially if you're traveling and you have to experience different foods and things like that. So that's great. All right. So it's at the Athletic Mind. Is that what it's called?
Athletic mindset coach.
Athletic Mindset Coach. Okay. And
Yeah.
I'll try and put that on the website for the
Mhm.
MariaLiberatiShow.com so people can look that up. But so if you're listening to this as a podcast, you can look for this on the MariaLiberatiShow.com YouTube channel. Also, you'll see this as a video um, shortly as well. All right, Celia, thank you so much. So it's the Athletic Mindset Coach, and I look forward to hearing from you in the near future. If you have any other projects coming up, please keep us in
Yeah.
mind,
Thank you.
and
Yeah.
we'd love to have you on again.
Okay.
Great. All right, thank you. Thanks for listening to the Maria Liberati Show, and thanks as always to my producer, Britton Roselle, and this week's special guest, Silja Paulus. And don't forget, put it on your calendar on Saturday, May 4th. The Maria Liberati Show will also be debuting on terrestrial radio. Our first terrestrial radio station is WWDB, which is 96.5 AM in Philadelphia. But you will also be able to hear the station. You'll be able to listen to it online on the WWDB website and my webpage on the WWDB site. So please tune into that as well. And as always, you can find me at marialiberati.com, on Instagram at Maria Liberati, on Facebook at Chef Maria Liberati, on Pinterest at Maria Liberati, on Twitter at Maria Liberati. On our YouTube channel, which is the Maria Liberati Show, you can see video of many of these podcasts on the YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Please join also. And let's see, you can also find me on Vimeo at Maria Liberati, and on my Roku channel, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking by Maria Liberati. And until next week, peace, love, and pasta.